Hello everyone. So in the previous sessions we have seen about the intake structure, that is collection of water from the different sources of water and bring it down to the water treatment plant, then treat it and supply it to the consumers. Okay, so that was the first part for water treatment process, that is extracting water from the source. So in this class we shall discuss about the aeration process. Okay, so once the water is brought in, the very first method what we do is aeration. Okay, so let us see what is aeration, why it is done, what are different types of aerators. Okay, so basically aeration is done to remove the taste and odors, and also to remove minerals such as iron and manganese from water, and to remove the carbon dioxide from the water. So these are the important objectives of aeration. Okay, so water may contain some dissolved gases and impurities, and water has to be enriched with oxygen. If this aeration is done, then the exchange of gases takes place. Because of that, the water will be rich in taste, and the bad odor due to the H2S and carbon dioxide and other dissolved gases, the taste of the water improves, and the water gets enriched with the oxygen. So it also increases the dissolved oxygen content. Okay, and it removes the bad taste and odor from the water. So these are the important objectives of aeration. So aeration has to be done so to achieve these objectives. So it decreases the carbon dioxide content, and it raises the pH of the water, and it removes and it oxidizes the iron and manganese which is present, and also due to the agitation which is caused in the aeration, some of the bacteria will also be killed. And aeration process can also be used for mixing chemicals. So after aeration we have to do a process called as coagulation and flocculation. So along with the aeration we can also do the mixing of chemicals, that is by adding coagulants or other type of chemicals to remove any unwanted impurities or pollutants from the incoming stream of water in the process of water treatment. So how does aeration work? Okay, so it is an intimate exposure of water and air. Okay, what happens? So we create an action such that the incoming water gets mixed with the air. Okay, so because of that air mixing, the bad odor is eliminated from the water, and water gets enriched, and the iron and manganese will be oxidized, and the carbon dioxide will also be removed. And because of the reaction between air and water molecules, all this process will happen. Okay, so here you can see, so this is the raw water, and the H2S which can be seen in yellow color, and iron and manganese. Okay, so because of the mixing action, you can see all the forms of impurities like carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, iron and manganese. Okay, so whenever the air passes through the water, okay, so this bad odorous gases will be removed. Okay, so that is the first action. And because of the mixing of air, the iron will start to precipitate here. Okay, and the iron and manganese will be removed, and also the carbon dioxide will be eliminated from the water. Okay, so because of this you can get the aerated water. Okay, so here the scrubbing action takes place, and also the oxidation of iron takes place, so that iron will be precipitated and removed. Okay, so this is what exactly happens in the process of aeration, that is removal of odorous gases like H2S, then oxidation of iron and manganese, then water will be enriched with the oxygen, that is dissolved oxygen content will be removed, and also some carbon dioxide will also be removed. So here aeration removes or modifies the constituents of water using two methods, that is scrubbing action and oxidation. So scrubbing action is caused by turbulence, which results when the water and air mix together. So we create a condition so that the turbulence occurs, okay, whenever the aeration process takes place. So this scrubbing action, it physically removes the dissolved gases from the solution in the water and allowing them to escape into the surrounding air. So because of this scrubbing action and the process of aeration, the impure gases or bad gases which causes odor will be removed from the incoming water, okay. And this scrubbing action will also remove the taste and odor from the water, okay. And if the problem is caused by relatively volatile gases and organic compounds, then the oxidation process will takes place, which purifies the water, that is by oxidating the iron and manganese, okay. So two basic processes happen, that is the scrubbing action and the oxidation process, okay. So whenever the air is mixed with the water, some impurities in the water such as iron and manganese, it also be oxidized, okay. Once oxidized, so these chemicals fall out of solution and become suspended in the water, okay. And the suspended materials can then be removed in the later treatment processes, that is by adding coagulants, and we do a process called as sedimentation and all, and also in the process of filtration. So this oxidized matter can be removed in the later stages of the treatment, and this is the very basic step in the treatment of water, okay. So what is the efficiency of this aeration process? So the entire efficiency of this will be greatly dependent between the surface contact of the water and the air, okay. So this contact is controlled primarily by the size of water droplet or the air bubble. The goal of an aerator is to increase the surface area of water coming in contact with air so that more air can react with the water. So here our sole intention will be to create more quantity of water, that is more surface area of the water should come in contact with the air to achieve the maximum efficiency. So we have to design the aerators or select the aerators such that the maximum air comes in contact with more surface area of the water, so that the efficiency of the aeration process can be increased. So here what happens, here iron and manganese, you can see here the following reaction will takes place because of the addition of air into the water in the process of aeration. So let us see if you can have the iron here. When it mixes with the oxygen and the water, it is precipitated as ferric hydroxide and with the elimination of carbon dioxide. Similarly, the manganese bicarbonate, and it is when it mixes with the oxygen, okay, and it will give rise to manganese dioxide and carbon dioxide and water, okay. And these are the precipitation which happen due to the aeration, that is the iron and manganese will be precipitated as ferric hydroxide and manganese dioxide, so which can be later removed in the process of filtration. So it is precipitated here and it can be removed, okay. So the oxidized products like ferric hydroxide and manganese dioxide are insoluble in water. So after aeration they can be removed by clarification or the filtration process. So this is how the iron and manganese will be removed by the process of aeration, okay. So what are different types of aerators which are used in the process of aeration, okay. So we have basically broadly two types of indicator, that is free flow or gravity type of aerators, then the spray aerators, okay. So these are the natural type of aerators wherein we will allow the free fall of water by doing some changes in the process of aeration so that the water droplets shears off and gets mixed with the air properly. So whereas these are the mechanical type of aerators wherein we blow the air by using diffusers and using mechanical aerators by using air blowers, so that water comes in contact with the air in the form of fine droplets, okay, and the aeration process takes place, okay. Let us see each one in detail and its construction and its working, okay. So we have the broadly different types of aerators as shown as, that is gravity aerators, spray aerators, diffused aeration system and mechanical aeration system. Okay, so first one is cascade type of aerator. It is the simplest and free fall aerator. So this can be seen in most of the water treatment plants, and it can be constructed by using concrete or metal. So its height varies from 1 to 3 meter, and it has a efficiency of 50 to 60% carbon dioxide reduction. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So this will be the inlet trough, and you have a cascade type of steps here. So these steps are made to create the turbulence. Whenever the water free falls from this trough, okay, the water will be mixed thoroughly with the air, and the water is collected in the outlet trough. Okay, so this is called as cascade type of aerator. So these are cascade type of aerators. Okay, so you can see here these are the steps. So because of this, the water molecules will be sheared off, and the water will be mixed with the surface air, that is atmospheric air, and the aeration takes place, and these are called as the simple slate, the cascade type of aerators. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so this is the structure which is constructed by the concrete, and this is made to ascend or descend into the aeration system for the repairs and cleaning purposes. And these are the steps which are provided to create the turbulence in the water stream. And so this is how it looks like. So this is the cascade type of aerators. So these are circular one. So the steps are created in a circular way, and water from the central column will be allowed to flow through these steps, and you can see that water is broken down into smaller particles, thereby it mixes with the air. And so this is how it looks like. So from the central area, the water will be allowed to fall in a cascade manner from these steps. Okay, and because of which the air will be mixed into the incoming water, thereby doing the process of aeration. Okay, so these are the cascade type of aerators. Okay, so we also have the inclined apron type of aerator with riffle plates. So here water falls along the inclined planar apron. So breaking up of water due to aprons, it causes the agitation, and because of the agitation, the water will be well mixed with the air. So this is how the riffles or plates will be placed here. Okay, so because of that, the turbulence will be occurred, and the water gets mixed with the air. And we also have slate type of aerators. So this type of aerator, it consists of the closely stacked superimposed wooden slate trays. Okay, and here water is sprayed evenly on top of tray. So water trickles down from one tray to the another, and air is supplied at the bottom with the help of blowers. Okay, and because of that, the aeration takes place, and the ventilator discharges the air and gases. Okay, so if you look the diagram, so this is the inlet, and these are the trays here, and these are the lifting lugs, and this is the top pan, and this is the ventilator, and these are the distributor. Here water trickles down on these trays. Okay, so which are placed horizontally, and the aeration takes place because of this, and this will be the removable pan, and the ventilator will be the ventilator allows the exchange of gases here. Okay, and the water which trickles down at the bottom through these trays is collected in this collection area, and this will be the outlets. Here water enters the system through this inlet and leaves the system through this outlet, and the aeration takes place using the slate tray type of aerators, and there will be a collecting pan at the bottom. Okay, so this is the another type of aerators where we used to do the process of aeration. So we have one more type of aerator called as gravel bed type of aerators. Here water is sprayed at the top and it trickles down the bed of the coke or anthracite. So the thickness of the bed is about 1 to 1.5 meter. Okay, so you can see here the water will be allowed through this plate, and this will be usually a cast iron header pipe, and we have the lateral spreader tubes like this here arranged at the top of this inlet pipe, and water will be trickled down, and we have the gravel bed. Okay, so all around, and water will be trickling down to the gravel bed, and from the bottom using an air blower, so we will blow the air from the bottom. So because of the blowing action and the gravity action of the water, the air will be mixed in the water. Okay, and the aeration takes place in this area, and the aerated water will be collected in this area. Okay, and through this outlet, the aerated water is collected into this aerated water channel. Okay, and from this the water is sent to the next process of treatment, and this is the drain. If there are any impurities which are settled, so this can be opened and it is clean. Okay, again this will be put into action here. So along with the aeration, this will also remove some of the other impurities, that is small suspended impurities, which can also be catched by the bed of the gravel. Okay, and some of the bacteria will also be removed on the bed of the gravel. So here we can achieve two objectives of aeration, and also some of the removal of some of the suspended particles by this process of aeration. So we have the trickling beds here, which is as shown in the figure in the previous slide. The 3 to 4 trays are kept filled with coke or the stone. We can also use the anthracite coal because that is an excellent adsorbent, and it removes impurities and also it reduces the odor. The thickness of the bed will be in the range of 0.5 to 0.6 meter, and the distance between the trays is around 0.5 meter, and water is sprayed from distribution pipe at the top. So you have seen that water is sprayed from this distribution type, and this is the gravel bed, and when the water trickles down like this, air will be blown from the bottom. So thereby the aeration area is this one. The aerated water will be collected here, and it will be allowed to flow through this aerated water channel to the next process of treatment. Okay, so we have, so this you can see the arrangement like this here. The raw water will be sprayed onto this, so on the bed of the coke. So there are 2 to 3 different layers of this coke which is placed, and we have these splash aprons like this. So the water will be allowed to fall through this bed of the cokes. Okay, and the aerated water will be collected, and it will be taken away by this outlet for the next process of the treatment. Okay, so this is also another type of aerators. So these are all natural types of aerators. So we have also the spray type of aerators. Okay, so here the air is applied in the course of water treatment for the absorption of oxygen and or desorption of gases. So you can see here a pressure pipe is placed at the bottom. Okay, so from the tank, and through this the air is blown with pressure. Okay, so water is distributed into the air in the form of small droplet by the means of orifices and nozzles. So we have Palm Beach nozzle, which is as shown in the figure, or we also have the New York type of nozzles, which consists of air, and the air with pressure is blown into this, which is fixed to the end of the pipes. Okay, and this is called as Berlin nozzle, and this is called as Sacramento nozzle. So this is the central crown, and these different types of orifices and pipe fittings can be attached at the end of the pipe, which is used in the process of aeration. Okay, so we have the spray aeration system also. So normally the spray aerations are constructed vertically or at an angle in upward or in downward direction, and they require relatively large area to collect the water. Okay, so you can see here, so these are the fine bubbles and these are the coarse bubble. Okay, so we also have something called as diffused aeration system. So here the air is blown using the air blowers, using the diffusers. So you might have seen the aquarium, wherein the small type of air bubbles will be fixed, the diffusers will be fixed, and a motor will be used to blow the air, and because of that the small the diffusing action of the air bubbles, so it causes aeration in the process of water treatment. Similar to that, so for bigger water supplies, the large capacity diffusers, which are as shown in the figure, as will be used. So this creates the finer air bubble depending upon the diameter of the opening here. So this creates the coarse air bubble. Okay, so we can use the different types of diffused aeration system to do the process of aeration system. So these are normally used in biological treatment system in case of wastewater treatment, and also for the air stripping of some volatile organic compounds. So aeration is not only used in the treatment of water, so it is also used in the treatment of wastewater treatment processes. Okay, so these are the mechanical type of aerators. So what we do is we produce a large air water interface by the transfer of oxygen from the atmospheric oxygen here is enhanced. So here what we do is, so this is called as aerator, so which is called as the mechanical type of aerator. So and this mechanical type of aerator is rotated at some RPM, so which is produced, it is fixed with a vertical shaft or horizontal shaft, and because of this the action of this mechanical aerator, the water will be mixed with the air. Okay, and you can see the aerator which is working here, so it will be fixed at regular intervals in a stream of water in this open tanks like this. This is called as aerator tank, and when it is put into action, so this aerator will create an turbulence in the water, and because of the turbulence the water and air will be mixed and the process of aeration occurs. So based on our requirement, economic conditions, and the volume of water which is to be treated, and quantity of availability of the resources like the power requirements and the air requirements, so any one type of aerator can be adopted in the treatment of water. Okay, so this is the figure of mechanical type of aerator. It comes with a rotor at the center, and it is fitted to the motor with the help of electrical power supply. So this rotor is rotated, and because of its rotation the turbulence is created in the system, and the aeration process occurs. Okay, and this is called as mechanical type of aerators. So far we have seen that different types of aerators and its working, and as we know, this is the very basic step in the treatment of water, and aeration is basically done to remove the iron and manganese from the water in the form of precipitate, iron oxide and manganese oxide, hydroxide. Then it is also done to remove the bad odor causing gases like H2S and carbon dioxide, and it stabilizes iron and manganese. It also removes the carbon dioxide, and also it increases the taste of the waters by mixing up of fresh atmospheric oxygen into the water. Okay, so this is the objectives, the process and types of aerators. Okay, so in the next class we shall see the two film theory associated with the aeration, and this will conclude the module 2 of the water treatment and supply engineering. We shall see in the coming classes about the two film theory and its application in the treatment of water, particularly in the process of aeration.